Sunshine Coast Council's Community Environmental Partnership Program, funded by the Environment Levy, facilitates partnership agreements with environmental organisations to encourage and support groups to make ongoing contributions to the region's environmental sustainability. I'm with Ben McMullen from the Council. Ben, why are these programs so important?
We know that we can only achieve the clean and vibrant and diverse community on the Sunshine Coast that we're looking for by having strong partnerships with our community. And this program allows us to develop those partnerships and also to foster strong community groups.
So how successful has the program been?
We've been able to give more than $2 million in support to community organisations across the Sunshine Coast, and they've been able to use those funds not just to do on-ground works but also to attract more funding into the region to help protect and restore our environment.
And what groups have been taking advantage of this funding?
We've had a real cross-section of groups taking advantage of this funding. We've got groups who are integrated catchment management groups, land care groups, water watch groups. We've also got groups who are doing scientific studies like fauna studies, all the way through to our fauna rescue groups, the people who actually take in the injured fauna and help nurse them back to health. We've even got a reef check group that's doing some scientific investigations into the quality of our reefs on the Sunshine Coast. So it's been a real cross-section of different groups.
I'm here with Phil Moran from Noosa and District Land Care, who receive a 3-year partnership from the Sunshine Coast Council worth over $77,000 a year. Phil, what sort of programs do you support?
In our case, we support the Water Watch program, which conducts ongoing water monitoring throughout the region. We also do native tree establishment, as you can see around us here today, and also an extension service to new landowners and existing landowners so they learn what's on their property. Here is one of our production nurseries that we develop over 100,000 tube stock per year, which goes out to be planted locally.
And what plant species are we talking about?
We have all sorts of different local species, all local endemic plants. Native rainforest trees, eucalypts, and there are even mangroves in the tunnel we're in now.
Phil, there's a special project going on in Cooroy, is that right?
Yes, it's one we're very, very proud of. It's a brilliant project. It's at the Lower Mill site in central Cooroy, and it involves the Water Watch program, planting trees to reduce nutrient going into Cooroy Creek, removal of weeds and re-establishment of native plants. And the other thing is we use it as a great educational facility as a community benefit for that little town.
So how does this program help the community?
It's a really good point. We are an environment group, but we're also a community organisation. So we help to get people into work. We currently have 41 people working here, and hopefully we'll be able to get them in full-time employment. So the economy is just as important as helping the environment.
We're here with Dr. Amber Gillett from Australia Zoo Wildlife Warriors. Amber, you receive $50,000 per year for 3 years in funding from the Sunshine Coast Council. What's that money used for?
That money is used specifically for examining and treating the patients that we get through the Wildlife Hospital. So things like food costs, medication, as well as going towards equipment that's required for diagnostic purposes. The costs can be anywhere between sort of $50,000 and $3,000, sometimes even more than that. The procedure that those animals have to go through really will sort of dictate what those costs will be. Something that has to have surgery is going to cost a lot more than something that's in here for a day or two.
And how many calls would the switchboard get on an average day?
On an average day it can be up to 100. That will vary from month to month depending on how busy the Sunshine Coast is with wildlife.
And who do we have in here today?
This little fellow is Miles. So Miles is a juvenile dispersing koala that was found on the side of the road. So today we're just going to go through and x-ray his chest. He's had a little bit of coughing, so we want to go through and have a look at that. So we're just looking at his lungs here. So nice big heart, and just making sure that the lung fields are all nice and clear. And he looks perfectly fine.
And that was just 2 great examples of community organisations who are achieving fantastic outcomes with the support of the Sunshine Coast Council's partnership program.